Howdy folks, I'm Mama Cass, welcome to my channel, thanks for joining me. So to compare to the PBO that we made the other day, I am here using my Nuvo Embellishment Mousse to give it a try, see what it comes up like, how different is it. This is the red one, which had dried out quite a bit, and I added some water and some glycerin to it, and it's got a few little lumps in it that could do with coming out, but other than that it's actually worked really well to make it spreadable again, because it was really hard to spread for a while. As you can see. Oops. So because it was quite rough, I really probably should have used the stick spray to keep the stencil down. It took some work in manipulating the paste. I find the more you spread it about, the more it becomes spreadable. I know that sounds funny, but because this is the only thing with these mousses, is that they cost quite a bit, and then if you don't use them, like, I'm not a professional card maker, I don't sell my cards like properly or anything like that, so I don't use it enough to warrant the price if it's going to go hard and not work for me. You can like, I would recommend always putting the foil back over, but also you can put like cling film over the top or press and seal to try and keep it fresh for longer. And as I say, you can ultimately add a bit of moisture if you need to, but you do need to work that in really quite well. Come up quite well. Quite happy with that, considering it had been really quite dry, that paste, the red one. But we'll try the others as well, and I again use a bowl of water, soapy water at the side, that I can put my stencil straight in so as the material doesn't dry on them. Okay, so now on to the next one. We'll use this stencil. I like this stencil. I've used it quite a few times actually on the channel, which is, I was going through sort of picking out the ones that I haven't used yet. I'm going to do a whole stream of like shorts with all of the ones that we haven't used yet, just to have a look at them. Now, pick a stencil out. I love this wavy one. I have used this one before, but I do really like this. I think it can be used in lots of card making. I add my purple tape to, as I said before, the stick and stay spray is better to use for your stencils, but because I've got cats in here, that stuff ends up with cat hair attached to it really badly, so I only use it when I really want to make sure I get a perfect stencil. Most stencils you can just cut away a section if it doesn't work out right. yeah, the blue one's really nice and quite spreadable. It's not as easy to spread as the modelling paste, but it is like easy enough if it's moist enough. So when it starts drying out, it gets really quite hard to spread it. But these do come up fabulous though. I mean, I do love the Nuvo products. You can't like be off when you're trying to make something that's similar to the bought product. You're never going to make it exactly like the big companies can do. I've discovered through this experiment already that both products are needed in my in my stash. So yeah, I won't be not buying these products anymore. I will. I just I'll use the PBO stuff for specific stuff, especially like the relief paste is as a relief is a good idea, because then you get a different effect from stencils. Good fun, love it. Let's see what this one comes up like. Hold it down gently and try and pull it up without smudging it everywhere. I love that. Look at how that, and you can really see the dimension on that. Definitely gives a more bulky dimension than the modelling paste on its own. Love it. Nuvo products are amazing. I love how it looks as it gets, like, the more you spread it the better it looks. It's like spreading mayo. Well, it's not quite like, this one's more like spreading butter, the Nuvo Embellishment Mousse, compared to the PBO was like spreading mayo. You want to sort of scrape off the excess and put it back in your jar, because you don't want to waste any of this stuff. Try and wipe off the excess as quick as possible so that it doesn't dry on there. And don't leave any bits around your rim, because you end up with those bits getting dry and cracked, and then they sit in them and ruin the rest. Now for the reveal. I love this. This colour is a great colour. I think it would look great if I did it on, used it to make skin tones. Chai latte they call it. And it's just a little smudge under that bit there where I was working it hard, which you can just put like either a flower or a sentiment or something across that area, or don't use that area if you don't, you know, if you cut it down, cut that bit out. Either way works. Just picking out another stencil. There's a lot of them in there. It's really hard to choose when there's so many, but this is a lovely delicate stencil. I really like this. Hello, Wills. Will says hello. I wiped the purple tape over a bit so as I could reuse it. And are we going with the purple? That's just such a glorious colour, isn't it? You can understand why it's the royalty colour, can't you? So luxurious, posh. One of my favourites. This stencil's one of my favourites as well. I really like this. I've got Bolt watching and helping me edit at the moment. He's about to have his knackers chopped off tomorrow. Lovely. I could literally use that colour 1,000 times a day and never get bored of it. I might use these to try and do some painting as well in the near future, like colouring in from stamping, you know, with a water brush. As you can see, I just wiped over my purple tape there so as I could reuse it. Wow, that's a brilliant reveal, isn't it? Really pucker that come up. The purple was nice and easy to spread as well, so it helped. I'm going to really enjoy putting that one to good use. Go on to the matte black cardstock again. This is, I don't know if I've mentioned it already, this is the matte black cardstock from Crafter's Companion. This stencil I've actually got a massive one of that I could use in my house, like for furniture. I might do some stenciling with the embellishment mousses onto the decoupage that I plan on doing with the vintage trunk that I've got. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? I believe it can be used for things like that. And this colour is amazing. Let me find the colour for you. This colour is burnished bronze. And doesn't it look fabulous when it goes onto this black cardstock? It's really elegant. You can see this one's really quite nice and malleable. I'm just trying to get it as, like, because the more you spread it, the looser it gets. So if I do it in the jar a bit, I don't have to pull it across the stencil so much, because, you know, that's when you get it coming underneath the stencil where you're pushing too hard on the stencil. Like this one, it's nice and glossy, no lumpy bits in, but it's a little bit harder, as in, like this, the base is quite solid, but once you get working with it, it comes up lovely. I'm putting these off to dry overnight. Rather than heat setting them or anything. Which is the same as what I did with the PBO. Look at that. I really do like this colour. I need to start using these more, because I want to get them used and not wasted. Look at it all on my finger, it's shiny. See, I've got so many colours in the micas and that from doing my soaping that I could really, like, I'm really trying to find ways to use them in my paper crafting. Like, I know they use Perfect Pearls, which is like mica in crafting, but that has like a setting agent in it, I believe. So I'm not sure that mica would be able to be used in the same way as them without it all rubbing off on your hands and that, but I could then set it with some setting spray that I've got. I'm just cleaning the desk down, sorry. Again, wiping down my sticky tape and get as many uses out of it as possible. Wow, like you can see one bit where it's gone under, but like obviously again you can just cover that with a sentiment or something, you know. This is another one that I've not used before. Now if I wasn't doing this as just an experiment sort of thing, I would do the flower in the middle one colour and then do the leaves, the green, around the outside on this, but I wanted to test each of them to see what I think of all the different qualities of spreading through like different paste through embossing through stencils. Now this one's like a lot harder again, but smooth enough that I could use it, but it certainly Felt like this one needed a little bit more moisture added to it, but once you start spreading it, it does go on really well. Now these are quite difficult because the stems in the leaves aren't attached to anything, so aren't attached to the other side, so it pulls around a bit. I leave quite a bit on here because it's I didn't want to ruin it by scraping over it too much. This spatula is quite good for spreading it about as well, I noticed. So make sure you get the lids back on them as quick as possible because you don't want it sitting with it open to air. And wipe it off your tools and that, otherwise it will get dried on. Oops, spread it a bit. I didn't want to take off the excess because I felt like I was going to ruin it. Wow, it come up really good. I thought it would have definitely ruined it because of the leaves. The stems in the leaves were definitely lifting up a bit, you know. So on with the yellow. This yellow is ever such a pretty colour. I'm not usually a big yellow fan, but this is a lovely colour. And this is a lovely stencil, very delicate. Comes up lovely. My plaster. I cut my finger on a knife in the sink, and I proper sliced it. I had to use some cling tape on this bit, which is a shame because it's the last one, but yeah, I've got the last bit. It's too messy to use them again. So this yellow is, again, it's quite solid, but it's really quite nicely blended together still, so it just needs working. So yeah, as soon as you start spreading it, it sort of loosens up. Trying to go in around it because it's got such fine little grooves that I really wanted to make sure I got it all into all the grooves. Such a pretty stencil in it. Get it all back in there, make sure it's not all around the edges, and then get your foil over it and the lid on. And then just gently hold it in place while you pull off the tape so as it doesn't shift. And that's pretty much it for my Nuvo Embellishment Mousse experiments. This is how they turn out. Very much love this stuff. Nuvo's brilliant. That's it. Thank you for joining me, guys. Much love. Breathe easy, folks. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.